2 blocks away, as he's walking towards the hospital, he hears a loud boom.
Wait, this is
This is
9/11.
This is 9/11.
Holy cow.
Your ice cold?
So, welcome to our first and only podcast. My name is Sully.
My name is Austin.
And my name is Chris.
Chris is out of frame right now, but I kind of think that this podcast is going to probably go on my YouTube channel just because, like, I feel like we're going to have some value, and every time I can hang out with these dudes, like, we always have a great conversation. Also, Austin and I and Chris, you can't even see Chris, but I'm going to put his picture right here real quick.
At Chris.
Yeah, Chris. We've been friends for how long?
Oh, geez, since high school, dude.
High school, yeah.
Senior year. Yeah, me and Chris have been friends since sophomore year.
Yeah. I moved here in 2018, so.
Moved here from
Mississippi.
Pakistan. Mississippi?
Yeah.
That's where you moved to first?
Oh, like when I first moved to America?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I actually moved to New York.
When did you move to America, actually? I feel like I've never... Holy shit, this is just a get to know each other podcast now. I didn't know this stuff. Yeah, I didn't know this stuff.
So, you guys want to give you...
Yeah. So when did you move from Pakistan to the States?
Well, I never actually lived in Pakistan.
I thought... Wait, what?
You were born in Pakistan.
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
What?
Never mind.
Bro, wait, where were you born?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh!
So, okay, I'm going to give you guys, like, my rundown of my life, right? It's actually so funny. I was just talking about this. My name is actually Suleiman. So it's actually Solomon for in Arabic for those of you who don't know. So I was born in 1999 in October, in actually the capital of Saudi Arabia. So Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Where is that in accordance to like Dubai and like the UAE and all of that? That's the only image in my head of the map I can think of.
I guess we can. I mean, I'm not really too sure of like where the UAE is located as correspondence to Saudi Arabia, but I think Riyadh's kind of towards the middle of Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Unimportant.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe on the west side. I don't know. But anyways, we didn't live that long, so I moved out of Saudi Arabia when I was about like 1 year old to New York.
Okay.
We moved out of Saudi Arabia just because my dad was actually working at a bank in Saudi Arabia. And if you know Saudis are really, really like kind of like controlling of their own, like they want everything for their own people.
Yeah.
You know? So you got to be Saudi blood in order to have like literally anything and everything in Saudi Arabia. So obviously I'm not Saudi blood. My parents are from Pakistan. My dad works at a bank. He's kind of deemed at a lower class than everyone.
Okay. So it's kind of like in Italy, you have to, in order to get citizenship, you have to have Italian blood.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to something like that. Okay.
So my dad was like, well, I mean, I can't really raise a family and like have like a wealthy life and you know an established career in Saudi Arabia. So what's everyone's goal to get to? It's America.
Yeah.
You know? So my dad gets his ticket. He gets his ticket to America. Actually, I take that back. I actually did live in Pakistan for like about a couple months. Still don't remember it.
Straight capping, dog.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we moved to America. And we moved to Pakistan right in the beginning so that my dad could come to America for a little bit, get acquainted with New York and whatnot. And so my mom was being looked after by our family.
Yeah. These parents did the exact same thing. His dad moved over here first, got the job, and then everybody else once they made sure it was secure enough.
The first job my dad got was being a janitor at a 7-Eleven gas station.
Let's go, dude. Started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, the actual bottom, but it gets even darker than that. So this is about in 2000, yeah. And so my dad's working at the 7-Eleven gas station, barely can make it by, he's only the janitor, right? And if you know Muslims or anything at all, we're not allowed to sell alcohol, and we're not really supposed to be dealing with alcohol or with pork or anything like that. So gas stations, they're kind of like they sell a lot of alcohol and stuff, right?
They sell all of,
So, but that was the only career that he had, but he was like, I just can't keep doing this for a long time, so he had to try to find a way out. But at the same time, he needed to, try to bring money for the family.
You gotta do what you gotta do to kind of make it. Yeah.
So at this point, we're all living in America, and so my brother's about 3 or 4 years older than me, right? And so at the time, so 2001 kind of comes around, and September, or my sister was born in November. This is kind of key. So in 2001, in November, my sister's born. So in September, my dad's actually going to a hospital to go check up on my mom, who's just doing her daily checkups. And 2 blocks away, as he's walking towards the hospital, he hears a loud boom.
Wait, this is 9/11.
This is 9/11.
Holy cow!
So
2 blocks away.
2 blocks away. So obviously you get like this ringing
Yeah.
sensation.
I've seen the videos. Like, there's this video that I'm watching, and it's this young lady, and she's like not really taking the whole situation seriously. And there's this dust cloud coming, like from the debris and all that. There's this dust cloud coming down the road, and this thing is like this looks like a sandstorm, bro. And it's coming down the road, and she's like running along, and this dude's in this shop, and he comes out, and he's like, "You need to get inside now. You need to get inside now." And she's like, "No, it's fine." Like blah blah blah. And he's like, "No, you need to get inside right now." She gets inside, and like not 2 seconds later, this cloud covers all of this street in New York. You can't see out the window. All you see is this debris flying by. Windows shatter. I can't imagine being 2 blocks away from that happening.
Kind of crazy. And then obviously he starts to see people rush out. Right. So he starts running, and like he eventually gets to like a point where, like at the time, like TVs weren't really like prominent. So they had like these glass, like kind of shops where they would have like TVs inside inside these shops. So everyone's huddled around, and they're like looking at the news, and my dad's like, he just saw what happened. Yeah. So now he's like freaking out, because like the Twin Towers are pretty close to where the hospital was. So he's running towards the hospital. Jeez. He's like just freaking out, right? And as he's running, he just sees tunnel vision, and then suddenly gets tackled.
What?
He gets tackled by the NYPD.
What?
And he gets put in jail, and so are hundreds.
Wait. Did he get tackled by the NYPD because of how he looks, or because he was? Oh my god!
Yeah,
I thought that this was he was getting too close. Like, you don't need to. It was solely because like they were like, you know what, this guy might.
And they arrested hundreds of other Muslims at the time.
I did not know that.
And interrogated all of them. Made sure that they weren't involved in the entire thing.
That's so dumb.
And so, my dad's in jail. My mom's in the hospital. She's freaking out.
Yeah.
She gets home. My dad's still not home. The next day, she gets a call. It's like, hey, your husband's at the prison, at the jail. You gotta come and
in the correction. I've gotten that call from my cousin before.
And I think you gotta go sign him out or something like that, right? So you had to go sign him out. And my mom was like, there's no phone, there's no iPhone. You can go call somebody up, and nobody has like an actual like number at the time. So he gets out, and he goes back to work. He already had a bad image on himself just because of the color of his skin, and we already look like we're Muslims. So he's working out, goes back to work, gets spit on. He gets like trash thrown at him. Like, he's just like, and then eventually there's just so much violence happening in the 7-Eleven that was like not really precedented, So they fired him.
That's something I've never really thought about before. I imagine like living in New York City at that time and being Muslim or being Islamic or just like looking some sort of Middle Eastern. Yeah. I bet that was so fucking hard. Yeah. Like, I bet that they had to go through so much shit that we probably, like, I've never even considered that. Until you just said this just now, I've never even considered the fact that hundreds, if not thousands, of Muslim Americans that are living in the States at the time, living in New York City, are going to get interrogated, thrown in jail, treated like shit. Like, god damn.
Nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Then he loses his job, but now he has 2 kids, or at this time, he has 3 kids. 1 newborn. Yep. And he can barely even afford trash bags. Yeah. And like the only thing he can bring home is like a loaf of bread.
Spam and bread.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been there before.
We're burning our trash because we can't even afford the trash bags. So then he calls up a friend. He calls up an uncle, and an uncle calls up a friend, and that friend calls up another friend, and he's like, all right, yeah, I have a job opening out in Texas. You're going to have to move your entire family over.
Yeah.
Now, this is already a big risk, you know? So he gets this job at a jewelry store, this jewelry kiosk store. And this is kind of when my memory starts to jog, right? I'm about like 3 years old at this point.
Right.
And it was, dude, I'm so happy with my childhood. Like I had a great childhood. Like I literally saw the process of starting from the bottom to get to the middle class, or like, and then you get to like a little bit of the higher side, and then like the low side. You know.
No, I totally feel that.
You know, so he worked at that jewelry store for about I think like 3 years.
Yeah.
Like that. And he then bought a jewelry store that was owned by the guy out in Beaumont at the time, and in Mississippi. So
okay.
yeah. So the guy that owned the one in Beaumont, he also owned one in Mississippi. My dad bought the one in Mississippi.
Okay.
And so that was kind of like the power of like how the direction of my life has really changed. You know, because it was like my dad worked at a 7-Eleven gas station as an employee. Then he works as an employee for a business that could make unprecedented amount of money.
Right.
You know, because you can only like you can't really cap out of business.
Right.
So he then worked at the one in Mississippi, worked his ass off for a little bit. And I remember my first time like working at a business was like 7 years old. It was about Christmas time, and like my mom's like shopping at Dillard's.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I don't want to be at Dillard's. And so I'm in the jewelry kiosk, right? And I see my dad just like going around in the kiosk, like just running around in circles, just like dealing with a bunch of people. And then suddenly I'm just like, I walk up to the counter. I'm like, hey, how can I help you?
7 years old.
At 7 years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Just born to be a
And then like
salesman,
literally my dad's like dealing with two people. And then he hears like a little kid, like, you know, hey, how can I help you? You know, he's like, looks back, he just starts laughing. And then like I held them off for a little bit, you know,
whatever you can do.
Yeah, exactly. So like I showed him some chains and yada, yada, yada. And then I started going to the shop a little bit more frequently, just like, because it was fun for me at that point, you know. And then my dad went on other little ventures. He started up like an airsoft, like he used to sell like airsoft guns. And then,
what? That's so cool.
He used to sell airsoft guns. Actually, there was a Radio Shack that had closed down, and we actually rented out that space. So if you know, like a Radio Shack shop is pretty large, right?
Yeah, they're huge.
So and the back room is even bigger.
For like inventory?
Yeah, for inventory.
Okay.
So we set up targets. It was so
yes,
dumb.
dude.
It was like white lights and everything. It literally looked like, you know, like in The Dark Knight, how it's just like all white lights,
yes,
just empty,
yeah,
and just like guns on the side. It was so cool. I still remember it.
And that reminds me of have you ever been to like those like paintball shops or those like airsoft shops where it's just like guns everywhere, but it's all just like paintball stuff and all that? I'm like 10 years old at the time, and it's my first time ever being inside of one of these stores before, and it's a paintball studio.
Yeah.
And like that was the first time that I was like, dude, I want to own my own company. Like I'm looking around, like it's just this one guy, he's got one employee doing the bare minimum, minimum. But the dude like, yeah, man, this Tipman over here, like this trigger, like you go like this, and it'll, and then, like over here we got this, and like, yeah, there's 3 different kinds of paintballs, and like, yeah, man, we got a thing in the back, like just the most energy about this thing. And it's just these two guys, one owns the place, one's an employee, and that's all he needed. That's all he needed to be happy.
Yeah. I mean, imagine like working at a surf shop. Or,
yeah,
I could
or like with like what me doing like a snowboard shop kind of thing. Like
I could definitely see Sawyer like working at a skate shop. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Relief. I'm surprised Sawyer didn't work at Relief like during high school and stuff.
But yeah, anyways, and then he went on his little ventures. He had like an RC kiosk, like where he used to like RC cars, and then he gravitated over. This is when the iPods were coming out.
Yeah,
you know, it was like the old iPod,
the buttons.
You know,
you had the 4 buttons in a circle, or
So we used to sell like knockoff ones, and then Then I actually did pretty well because they were cheaper than the regular iPods.
Yeah.
You know, and
I had one. I
Yeah.
had a I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was a knockoff.
Yeah.
Fucking air.
All you had to do was just put an SD card in there.
Yeah, bro. And sometimes even if you had a knockoff, if you had a knockoff one, you would end up paying less money because like you could download songs for free.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to worry about.
Anyways, and then he started seeing that there's like a rise in tech, and then he started selling cases for phones, and he's selling flip phone cases, right? And this is where I start going to the mall a lot. Like
Yeah.
throughout the entire summer, like at this point I'm about like 10 or 11.
Still living in Texas at the time, or this is now you're now
I'm
in Mississippi now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I've been so like I actually lived in Mississippi for like 15 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so that's where I spent most of my childhood. And so I remember at the time, like whenever my grandparents used to come, my grandfather used to go to the shop for a little bit, and then he used to work with us. And at this point, he's already established he has his jewelry business. Then he gravitated over to selling like cell phone cases and stuff like that, and pouches and stuff like that. And we also sold cologne at one point, and then self-defense weapons.
Just
at
an
one point.
entrepreneur.
Just like everything.
Just an entrepreneur.
Just like literally everything. And then I got really good at just like, and like there was like kids my age just walking around spending money, you know. But like I was like I had fun just talking to people, like trying to figure out like how can I help them. And then it was that, and then it was also going outside and playing, which I don't really see a lot of kids doing nowadays.
Bro,
Kinda sad.
no kids do this anymore. None of them. I work like working in the service industry, man. I will. Oh, it makes me so mad because there's this whole family that walks in, and it's the husband and the wife, and they're normally like just mad for no reason.
Yeah.
And then the kids all have their headphones on, or they've got their AirPods in, or they've got their iPad with their handle on it playing fucking Smash Bugs or whatever. Like they aren't involved in anything.
Bro, and it's
anymore.
gonna be really difficult when we start having kids because like their friends are gonna all do it.
Is gonna get so much like watching my sister grow up right now. She's only 2, and already seeing how like it's an addiction, bro. Like getting on your phone, like getting on a phone, getting on technology, doing that kind of stuff. Like it is 100% an addiction.
Most
She's
definitely.
only 2 years old,
Yeah.
and already she's over there playing on a phone,
Yeah.
like playing on iPad, like, and she knows how they work.
Yeah.
Like she knows how they work. That blows my mind to see somebody that like you can hardly even talk right now.
Yeah.
But she knows exactly how to play any game that she wants. She can go on Amazon. She can like she's accidentally ordered stuff before. Like it's wild. It's wild
Dude,
to
there's
me.
stories of like I think my cousin at the time, I think it was like Clash of Clans or something like that.
Yes,
Dude, they ordered like for them it just looks like tokens. You
yeah,
know? like
and that's how they get you, dude. That is
Yeah.
exactly how they get you. Like with like all the games nowadays with like Valorant and Valorant points, Overwatch and Overwatch
Fortnite?
points, Fortnite
Oh
with
my God.
V-Bucks.
Yeah.
Like they make it so much less painful to think about. Like yeah, it's $30, but it's 400,000 coins. Like that's so many coins.
so many dollars.
But in all reality, it's still it's pixels.
yeah. Most definitely.
I can't say that I don't buy them though, because I mean, you got to. Skins equals wins.
And then where was I? Oh yeah, and then we started working at some jewelry stores, and then eventually he had about 2 jewelry stores and 3 cell phone kiosk, and he dominated that mall.
Mm-hmm.
And then he branched out to other malls, and then he started opening. The cell phones did really well,
Yeah.
and then he just sold out the jewelry stores, which I kind of like. Go thinking back about it right now, I'm like, dude, the jewelries would have been
Yeah.
popping right now, and
If you had done both.
yeah. I think the jewelries would have outweighed the cell phone because I feel
Really?
like the cell phone industry right now is starting to go back down.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
Just because like now there's YouTube and you can fix your own phone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a really nice skill to have. But I'm glad that my dad still has those connections with the jewelry store because that's something I'm still planning on wanting to do.
Own a jewelry store one day.
Well, it's very, very soon. It's not necessarily owning an actual physical shop. I'm not really too sure about that yet. But owning like an online jewelry store where where we sell like iced out like Islamic gear. That would be dope.
That would actually be hard.
Like there's iced out like Christian like crosses and like Jesus hanging on the cross
Yeah.
and stuff, but there's no iced out like Pakistani gear, bro.
what would be like? Give me an example of a iced out Pakistani gear.
okay,
what would-
you know how there's holy water?
Yeah.
So dude, I don't want to say this because somebody's gonna steal this idea. This is a great idea. I've already sketched it out and everything.
We'll cut it out. We'll cut it out.
But anyways, so it's gonna be like this crystal, right? It's gonna be a capsule, and the crystal itself is gonna be hollow. And around the crystal, we're gonna have silver around it, and it's gonna kind of go all the way. It's gonna wrap around, and you're gonna be able to see the crystal, but the crystal is gonna be filled with like Zamzam water. It's kind of it's our
Your holy water?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's gonna be iced out too.
Yeah.
So you can't break the crystal because it's wrapped around in that silver.
That's actually really fucking cool.
And then
That's
it'd be like an
actually
iced
really
out
cool.
chain and whatnot. And then I've been actually talking to people like from like Thailand and whatnot to try to get that like made and stuff. But they're like, yeah, it's gonna cost us
When
like,
you mention that idea to people that would be like minded like you,
Yeah.
are they like, yo,
that's a good idea.
that'd go hard?
Yeah,
like that'd be
right?
actually really cool.
It wouldn't be huge, but like it would definitely stand out.
I don't think it's a Western culture kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I do see that being an Eastern culture kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like hardcore, that would
Oh, most
totally be.
definitely.
And then low key, like you would see like there's got to be some rapper out there that's Islamic or Muslim, and
A$AP
then there,
Rocky, I think.
yeah, bro, like ASAP. Imagine ASAP is just like, and then once he does it, everybody's going to
most
want to do it.
definitely.
It doesn't matter if they believe in it. It doesn't even matter. They might not know it's what Zum water.
Yeah, Zamzam
They're
water.
probably not gonna know it's Zum water.
Yeah.
But they're gonna buy it anyways because
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky was wearing it.
I mean, and on top of that, I was like, okay, well, it doesn't have to be Zamzam water. I can fill it with whatever you want. Like the first time you met your wife, or the first time you went on your date, like you when you guys went on the beach, we just picked up some sand and put that in like the crystal.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? So it could've
I like
been
that idea.
But don't steal my ideas. I'm copywriting right now. If you steal it, I know you stole it, and I'm gonna come after you. I'm saying it on live. So then, yeah, and then eventually he started opening up some in Mississippi, then Alabama, and then finally he opened one up in Florida, in the Panama City Mall.
Which is the Cellular Solutions?
Yep.
Yep.
And so that's when we actually moved to Panama City for the Muslim community here.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we didn't really have that big of a community in Mississippi. I mean,
Yeah.
if I just say the word Mississippi.
You don't really, like the first thing that comes to mind when I think Mississippi is not Muslim people.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally, I know for a fact that there was a girl in my sister's grade. Her grandfather was the Grand Master of the KKK.
Nice. Let's
So,
go.
It was so funny that because she always gave us like a weird eye, right? It
Yeah.
was just like she was raised in it, you know. So like she was in that shit deep.
Some people are just raised that way, dude.
Them city folk.
Them city folk. No, that's them country folk.
Um,
You hear about the most racist town in Arkansas?
I've heard about
I
it.
heard about this.
Oh, it's so crazy. This dude, I can't think of his name on YouTube right now.
It's like the black guy that goes over there.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. He
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
to the most racist town in Arkansas, and he just hangs out with the dude that's still forming KKK meetings, bro. And
And then he asked like, okay, if there wasn't cameras here, like, what would you guys do? And they were like, I think they were gonna beat him up or something.
oh yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy.
Unfortunately,
then,
it's still a thing.
I'm glad that everything happened or everything panned out the way it did, business wise. But we also did get fucked over a lot too, because on top of that, we're trying to get our citizenship,
Yeah.
right? So now there's four people that are trying to get our citizenship. Like there's me, my brother, my mom, and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got my citizenship when I turned 18 years old.
Holy cow!
Dude, I moved here when I was 2.
Holy cow!
Yeah. I got my citizenship. I remember it was like during Skalko's class.
Holy cow!
Isn't that
dude.
crazy?
You were here for 16 years before you got your citizenship. So you were just on a green card then, basically your entire life. Mm-hmm. Was your dad on a green card or was he on a work visa?
He was on a green card.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on a green card. I mean, like we were tax-paying citizens and everything like
That's
that.
such horseshit. You're tax-paying citizens and you're not a fucking citizen of the United
And on
States.
top of that, we're paying more taxes than everyone else.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, because like now, like I mean, it was kind of, and that wasn't the annoying part. The annoying part was the fact that these immigration lawyers just took advantage of us.
Oh yeah.
We went through like 4 of them, and to even get on a phone call with one costed us like $10,000.
What?
Now remember, my dad's working at a 7-Eleven gas station.
Yeah, that's everything you have,
Yeah.
dude. That's everything.
And then he goes to a jewelry store, and then that's kind of when we start getting our process in, and then like you're trying to build a business, and at the same time, like, people are fucking taking away your money.
You're trying to build a business, but everything around you is trying to tell you that you shouldn't and that
Yeah.
you can't and that we don't want you to.
Yeah. And then at this point, I think towards the end of it, like when we finally got everything, we had spent about like close to $250,000 to get our citizenship.
Everything, like, all together for all of you guys. Holy
Just because like
cow.
we got scammed so much, dude. Imagine $250,000. Like now, I'm a real estate agent, right? So now I'm like understanding like the power that money can actually.
That's a
do for
house.
you. Not even that. You know, $100,000 is 10% of $1 million,
Yeah.
right? A conventional loan, in order to get a $1 million property, is about 10 or about 20 to 20. Oh, actually, it goes about 5% to about 25%. If you have
Okay.
good credit, it goes about like, you know, you can probably be 5 or 10%.
You're talking about the money down?
Yeah, money down.
Okay.
$250,000. Let's say I'm using 10% of that. That's a $2.5 million property, or $2.5 million business, or a $2.5 million motel or a hotel or
Yeah.
something, or some sort of asset that you
But
can,
no, now you gotta. This is what you have to pay to become a citizen. Now you can do all.
yeah,
those
now I
things.
can make all now I can make money, and now it's taken about like how long, like 16 years
Yeah.
to do all of that, and on top of that you're having to pay more money because of the taxes. And if you're not a citizen and like you're really just trying to figure out America, you're not really focusing on like the tax rules or anything like that,
Yeah.
because you're having a family to take care of. Now if I were able to actually go back in time and tell my parents what to do, I would definitely like really kind of advocate for like trying to like find a way
Buy the book.
to buy as many assets as possible and just put as much money in there, because then they're all deductible. And you know, and then like, you know, like you can buy a multifamily for as much as we were paying for like our apartment and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know?
And then now you like.
We're cash
You're-
flowing on top of that.
Yeah. Instead of paying somebody else's
Mortgage,
you're
pay
now
your own
paying your own mortgage.
Yeah.
I wish I could start doing that. I'm staying in an apartment right now, but if I had the capability of owning my own
Yeah.
instead of paying, because I mean, I've done the calculation before. I've been living on my own since I was 18. I'm 22 now.
Yeah.
I've been paying an average of about $1,600 a month since I moved out. That times 12 times 4, I've paid almost like $50,000
That's wild.
in 4 months or 4 years.
That's crazy.
That's like imagine if I hadn't moved out and I had stayed with my parents, which I'm so glad that I didn't do that because I learned so many things by moving out and like living on my own. But if I hadn't have done that, I could have $50,000 sitting in my bank account right now.
That's wild.
I'm pretty sure. Let's check my math on that because I might not be right.
Well, that'd be crazy.
1,600 times 12 times 4. Yeah, $76,800.
Holy crap. That's crazy.
Ever since I moved out. That's wild. That's wild.
That's crazy. For 4 years.
So once
Yeah.
once this lease is up, I'm done. I'm getting a place. I'm buying my own place.
I'm selling you your place.
Yeah, please, bro.
I mean, I kind of expect prices. I mean, prices are starting to cut back down right now, anyways, because of interest rates, you know, and the hedge against inflation and stuff. So it would be a good time to buy by the time you're ready.
Yeah, I think that because now the interest rates are going up, which is going to cause the cost of houses are going to go down.
Yeah.
Even though those interest rates are going to stay high to try to battle inflation, eventually those rates are going to come down. I can refinance. I can get a better rate.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, there's things, there's
As long as you're not
workarounds.
breaking the bank to try to get something, you're chilling.
Yeah.
And if you can afford something right now buyers are being cut out and you can actually afford to buy a house and there's a house that you really like, there still are buyers out there and it's not like an 08 crash, right? People are making a lot of fucking money right now.
People are going to make a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
A ton of money.
And now since the online space of where it's at right now, there are literally 16-year-olds making about $10,000
Drop shipping
drop shipping
or just like
a day sometimes. or not even a day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane.
Wild.
They just resell shoes,
Yeah.
fucking find some hustle, or just go all Gary V on them. Go to fucking garbage.
Tate.
Yeah, or go Andrew Tate on them. Start an MLM scheme.
Dude, do you understand how much money Andrew Tate made off Hustlers Academy?
Oh, and 110,000 students at $50,000. That's
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah.
Millions a
Absolutely
month.
Wild. And people are still in it.
But I will say though, I was just last night actually. I was watching Wolf of Wall Street. I've seen it tons of times, but I'm doing this project right now for one of my classes, and it's about the '08 crash and like how that was literally just corruption at its finest. Like that was just the reason all of that happened is stuff like Merrill Lynch was giving out interest or like giving out loans to people that it shouldn't have. Places like at the time, the company that Jordan Belfort owned. They were literally in like the most MLM type scheme that you can get to.
Yeah.
Like you get in there, you make nothing in the beginning, you sell all of these people tiny stocks that they think they're gonna make a bunch of money off of, but in all reality, you don't believe it, and it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And now, boom, you just made yourself rich and made a whole lot of fucking other people poor.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's what Andrew Tate's low-key doing, in my opinion. With
Honestly,
with Hustlers University. University.
Honestly, I feel like Andrew Tate's actually made a lot of people who are in Hustlers University a lot of money.
Yeah,
You know,
but I think that there's a lot of fucking people that are
and
in there.
all he's doing is just teaching people how to like drop ship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And repost like his feed. So that's how he built his entire like presence, right? It was like just post my content on all your channels,
And I'll
and
give
you'll
you some-
probably
yeah.
start like making some money off of it.
Yep.
And then that's how he became the Kardashian of the guys, you know?
Yeah.
And so everyone, literally, where did he come up from?
Don't know.
He literally out of
nowhere. It was just like
He did, MMA fighting.
But like,
Yeah, but
like
still.
his social media presence. Like I feel like one day he wasn't there, and then the next day I saw it all over
Well,
my
I think he
feed.
appeals to a lot of like lonely men. Like, lonely
I think the thing is he appeals to not only lonely men, but men that lack a sturdy role model, like a sturdy male role model. Like for me, like if I was 16 right now, living with my mom, who I don't have a male role model in my life, 100% I would be seeing Andrew Tate, and I'd be like, yo, man, like this guy, like he says it how it is. He's brute about it. Like he's gonna tell me what I need to do, not what I want to.
I feel like he has good ideas, but he doesn't have the best way of like portraying his ideas.
No,
in the way
no,
you need
not
to,
at all.
You know? Like it's very conventional, and I think he's right about one thing about our society nowadays,
Which is
everyone's just fucking pussy.
everyone is a pussy.
Like,
everyone
just a
is
straight
everyone
up
is
pussy.
everyone is a pussy.
Like I can't say anything without offending anyone.
I don't think
You know?
though. I don't think that his like 10% of good makes up for the 90% of bad.
Oh yeah,
Like I think that we like this cult following
Yeah.
that's around Andrew Tate right now is toxic in my opinion.
I think what's really happened with him is the fact that people watch like 30 seconds of a clip off TikTok and Instagram, and they cut it up and they post it.
Yep.
And then it reaches millions of people. Millions of people start talking to other people about, oh, this guy's a misogynist. Okay, what did he? I mean, if I say, what did he say that's misogynistic? They're gonna say, oh, women can't drive. Well, I mean, like, did you listen to the entire podcast?
Yeah.
Like for him in his own experiences,
He's
dealt
not
with,
gonna do-
he's,
yeah.
he's dealt with women that cannot drive.
Right.
But he's not saying like
All women are
can't,
incapable
you
of
know?
driving.
So like you got to listen to the entire thing before you can make an actual judgment. But guess what? 99.9% of people don't have the attention span to actually do that.
Well, also though, like if you
And
were
obviously
to
we
just
see
take
that with TikTok and Instagram now.
yeah, all the time. If you were to just take like 2 seconds out of your time to go research the person that you're learning about, like Andrew, for example, with the Andrew Tate thing, you take 10 seconds out of your time to research Andrew Tate, you're gonna find out that he's involved in like some fucking Romanian mafia
Yeah.
type shit
Like
with his
sexual
casinos, sex trafficking. Like there's and this isn't to just like say that you shouldn't listen to him and you shouldn't listen to these short clips, but what it is saying is like take what this man's saying with a grain of salt. Like
Yeah.
if there's things that hit hard and hit close to home for you, take those, but don't take everything that he says as
yeah.
like this is what you need to listen, because he's not the role model everyone is making him out to seem like. And especially and the people that don't like him, he's not like that like he's not. I don't think he has as much influence as people tend to think he does.
I think people are just kind of infatuated with his wealth.
Yeah.
The fact that he shows off his Bugatti, but I want people to understand that like everyone is so different and everyone's beautiful in their own way that take aspects from different people, but take the good aspects from each other.
Yes.
And kind of become the role model that you would want to be.
Exactly. That's a great way to put that, actually.
You know?
Yeah.
So like Andrew Tate says some really harsh shit, but he also says some real shit.
Yeah.
So take the real shit he says, but just make it a little bit nicer.
Like don't change who you are based on what he
Somebody
portrays.
else
Himself.
who owns
like
the fucking
that,
Bugatti.
a lot of people nowadays like they get confused with like they have this influencer that they admire and they want to be like them.
Yeah.
That's not what you should want to be in life. You shouldn't want to be like somebody.
You want to take their attributes.
You should be you to your core, and then take what they've done with their life and apply it to you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be them to their core and then do whatever you would normally do, because that's just you're it's a double negative thing.
Like look at the most successful companies, right? Like Apple itself, they didn't invent the internet. They didn't invent phones.
No.
Like they didn't really. I guess the only thing they invented was a touchscreen phone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they did.
And that was their twist on who Apple really is.
That's the thing with entrepreneurship, and that's what I'm learning right now in a lot of these courses. Is the key to being a good entrepreneur isn't having like new unique ideas that are going to hit the market and change the world. It's about taking pre-existing markets that are already there, finding the issues within those markets, and then applying that to your own, like try to remove as many pain points from those people as you can. That term pain points, like when you're trying to check out through Walmart, what is the process like of checking out through Walmart online, or what is the process like checking out through Amazon online? Like Amazon, they did one thing right: one-click pay.
Yeah.
You don't have to remember your card. You just put your stuff in there, one-click pay, and it's on its way. And they also did another thing right: 24-hour delivery. Like you can get your stuff within 24 hours if you have Amazon Prime. And another thing they did right: the subscriptions. They're making money every single year from all of these people that are paying $100.
Yeah.
Which is like nothing for you out of a year. That's only
$10 a month.
$10 a month. Less than $10.
Yeah.
Less than $10 a month. So that's like, oh, that's nothing. I can do that. But they're making billions, trillions of dollars off of that.
Yeah.
So with the snowboard company idea, I've been thinking a lot recently. I want to somehow implement some sort of subscription-based program.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the way to make money right now.
That's also like, that's interesting you brought that up, because that's something Mark Cuban's really like try to put. If you watch Shark Tank a lot, like you see like there are some businesses that come on the deck, and Mark Cuban's like, why don't you make this an SAAB, a subscription-based service, or SBA? I don't know. It was something like that. Anyways, but it was a subscription-based like type company, right?
Yeah.
Because like there's lots of companies that can do that and do really well by that, right?
All of the Netflix, Hulu, look
Black
at Dollar,
Hedge.
Black Hedge, Dollar Shave Club. Like look at all of these people that are like. And this is all because of Amazon, in my opinion. Like Amazon started this whole subscription thing, and everybody else was like, "Yo, wait."
Dude, imagine if eBay started doing that.
Like there's so many. I can think of countless ideas where you can implement a subscription. Like for snowboarding example, say you buy a subscription and it's $100 a year for my snowboarding, and it's like every single month we send you a package. Maybe it's got stickers in it, maybe it's got gloves in it, maybe it's got hats in it, but all of it is my brand. Everything that comes in there is my brand. And then maybe there's 3 months out of the year where you get like, say this package is going to have snow pants, this package is going to have a jacket, and then this package is going to have boots. I just gave you an entire setup for that year, and you only paid $100 a month. But how much am I making off of all of these different people that are paying $100 a month? Am I really going to lose profit on that?
Why not? You know.
I'm thinking of loot boxes.
Loot boxes, like literally. Or do you remember GameFly?
Yeah, I was actually
like they were ahead of their time, dude. They were ahead of their time. Oh, they're done. I mean, but
like they already made their money.
But that's because everything went digital. Like imagine if GameFly had kept going and they changed with the market and they decided to do, you know what, we're gonna do exactly what we're doing right now, but we're gonna give you a digital code to access that game.
Yeah.
Or not even that, dude. If GameFly decided to actually make like an app where they had all their had all the games right there,
Like
so
like a cloud-based kind of thing.
cloud-based
Yeah, yeah,
version.
yeah.
I think like that's what Google did.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's what
cool.
that's what we're seeing. All of the big like Microsoft and PlayStation. That's what they're doing now. Is they're moving a lot of games that you can play from the cloud
Yeah.
to the cloud, so you don't have to download it anymore. That's another one of those examples of removing one of those pain points.
Yeah, dude. Imagine if you had GameFly like on your computer.
That'd be so cool. That'd actually be so cool, dude. GameFly was still a thing, or like Blockbuster. Blockbuster Blockbuster should not have gone out of business.
Like, imagine if the Netflix chime was just Blockbuster's. Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, I could see that. Like this Blockbuster's like logo just like appears. like that would be crazy. But
Redbox still a thing?
yeah, it is still a thing.
I have Redbox
I'm
on my
actually glad
smart
that
TV.
Redbox hasn't really
I think
changed.
actually Redbox did it right. Well, they're probably not that big, but Redbox did it right because now Redbox has a digital like a software platform where
Yeah.
you can go and you can rent movies.
Yeah. But I like the aspect that Redbox is still physical too. Because there have been times where like my Wi-Fi's out, or like
Yeah.
you know, we go through a hurricane and like our TV, like we get electricity, but like all the towers are down and you still have nothing else to do. So let's go to Redbox and let's go rent out a movie.
It's those things that we used to do that we don't do anymore, and we only ever do it when we've like
Have to do it.
yeah, when we have to do it, when we feel like because we're given so many privileges nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has fiber internet
Yeah.
in their homes. Not everybody, obviously, but a good majority of people nowadays have fiber internet in their homes.
Yeah.
Everybody has power. Everybody has running water. Everybody has this. Everybody has that. So now it's gotten to a point where it's like, okay, like for me, when my power went out, I had nothing. I had nothing to do. Imagine sitting there in a dark room, bro. You don't have lights. You don't have like I have board games, but what am I gonna do? Play Monopoly by myself in the candlelight?
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I ate canned spaghetti in the darkness.
Yeah, like my fridge. I feel like you just did that.
He just turns off the lights.
Chris is just like, man.
I was kind of vibing. I was pretending I was like a survivor of the zombie apocalypse. It made it so much better.
It's like it reminds me of when you joined Discord not too long ago, and you're like, I'm outside right now. Like it's dark outside, and I'm eating Whataburger. It's a vibe, bro. It's such a vibe.
No way.
And what I think we need to do is we need to come back. I'll turn this in as my assignment.
Yeah.
And then we need to come back and we need to have another one where the camera's working and we can have a little bit more in-depth conversation about success and those 5 components.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.